G'day, welcome to another example reading video. Before I start, I want to quickly tell you my book is ready, Life and Destiny Palmistry, book number 3. You can get it on paperback from Amazon as well as the Kindle book. I'm happy to see my face on the book finally. All right, example reading about too many lines, when there are too many lines. I have this lady, and she emailed me about all the lines on her hands, and yes, there are lots of them, and probably the reason is that she has the water-shaped hand. If you've watched any of my previous videos on the hand shapes, the water-shaped hand is a feeling hand. It's long and narrow, long fingers and long rectangle palm, and that gives the character sensitive, highly strung. They are cultured and refined. They can be romantic, artistic, sometimes even musically gifted. They have good taste, but they can be unworldly. Okay, let's go and look at these lines. So I've zoomed in on her non-dominant hand first, and we shall talk about the heart line first. It's very chained in appearance. It does have the fork at the end, which is a really good sign because it shows the passionate nature and yet the practical side as well. But she is an emotional warrior. Health-wise, it shows anxiety, nervous or emotional tension. In Laurie Reed's book called Your Health in Your Hands, she talks about this kind of line that possibly have circulatory or heart issues, and or as well as possible imbalance of sodium and potassium. And that's because it is also on a water hand. So they might be health problems to look out for and keep in check, so to speak. The headline shows intelligence. It is long, so she does like to think in a lot of detail and does like to explain things in detail and has got patience to do so as well. However, because it dips down to the Mount of Moon, this circled area, that to me tells me that she probably overthinks things. She's hypersensitive, so she's got to be careful not to become irrational in all the thoughts, and like not become pessimistic or moody. Now, sometimes mood swings are displayed by a headline that goes straight and then suddenly dips, and she does almost have a kink there. But this is only in her passive hand, as she told me she is right-handed. Now she has the allergy line down here, and that is a sign of more sensitivity and should avoid any addictive substances. And they display somebody who's well aware of every little change in their body and surroundings, and they are again showing the sensitive nature that she has, like physically. The lifeline, this shows the past or what she thinks on the inside, and it really does seem to depict that her life in the past, she's 31, so 31 on the scale on lifeline is, say, 40s there, say 35, so 31. You can see leading up to her age of 31, the lifeline is blurry and very fuzzy, so it's almost, you could almost say her past is a blur. All right, next. Yes, there is a good fate line amongst all the hundreds and hundreds of crisscrossing lines that are everywhere. Have no actual meaning to all these lines. We don't name these lines. They're not called, you know, they're not called the, you know, Thomas the Tank Engine line, and this is the pencil in your ear line, and this is the, you know, people make up so many different names for these lines. They're not. They're all just energy lines that are on those who have a very highly strung nature. Everything affects them. They consider everything. They feel everything. They're hypersensitive. Often psychics have these kind of hands because they get the vibes from not just like from external things like angry people, but also from like spiritual vibes. And that's where the water hands, they are often very spiritual as well. So yeah, they are all just, I call them stress lines, worry lines, but whatever you call these lines, they're not particularly anything to worry about. It just shows her nature as the sensitive absorber, that she's absorbing everybody's energy. And she does have a good success line pointing to after age of 50, which is usually where the success line starts. And it has a nice trident at the end. See how there's lots of forks, and that is supposed to be a good sign of somebody who will always have always get money when they need it, and that's a very positive sign there. Lastly, on this left hand, I want to talk about this deflated mount of moon. That tells me that she has had some deflated energy. So it is the passive, I can't speak. Anyway, it's the left hand, non-dominant hand, that's a better word for me to use. And the mount of moon represents the nurturing, your creativity, the female energy, and for some reason that's deflated. And that tells me that something has deflated her energy in the recent past. But good news, on the right hand, it is not deflated. Okay, moving on. Here we are. See, the right hand doesn't look deflated. Nice energy. Looks plump. Same as the Mount of Venus. Looks plump. That shows good health. And it's nice when you do personal readings with somebody, you look at their hand, you get to feel their hand. So if you feel and press down on the mounts, you can see the energy. Look at that energy. So yeah, you can see how much energy they have if it feels firm, not hard, but if it feels slightly bouncy, not completely wrinkly and deflated looking. So here she looks like she has good energy, which is good because this is her dominant hand and tells me that what's happening now is good. What she's been doing now is changing her past. So that's that there. And not only that, on her right hand she has this nice support Mars line, two of them. She's got Mars line, two Mars lines with some nice supporting lines alongside the lifeline, which is frazzled a bit again on this right hand, but it does smooth out, except for one part. There is a little island, and that's probably showing current feelings of uncertainty or anxiety or worry. And that can point to a period of weakened health, but it's mostly a period of divided energy. So imagine all the lines, the main lines are rivers. So you imagine the energy running down the lifeline, and then it splits. So the energy is weakened. So the main river is flowing fast, and then suddenly it flows slower in two different directions. So she might have a period where she is either now or in the future where her energies are divided into a couple of things, which tends to weaken the flow of the energy. So that might be something to watch out for. She does have also the allergy line on her right hand, not as strong, so that's good. And the heart line again, it does look frazzled at the start, showing all that chaotic energy, but it smooths out, and it's still got the fork, which is always a good sign, and the success line as well. That's got a nice line of inspiration or an influence line that rises to the success line, and that shows that she has good health in the future, and this success line, probably success in her career or creative activities after the age of 50. Now, I just want to check, what have I mentioned? Headline, I haven't mentioned. This headline is again very long. Shows her ability to think and communicate and express, but there's in the middle section, it goes a bit fuzzy. It's not really an island, but it's just like a fuzzy area in the middle. So that's probably depicting around about the age of 35. Oh no, she's 31. That makes a sense. It makes sense that there's a period in her life where she's her thinking is not straight. When you think of someone who thinks straight, is a straight line. So imagine if the line is all blurry, the thinking is a bit blurry. So maybe she needs to look into some meditation or something like that. So there is a double fate line as well. So one is from the lifeline. That usually means that she will have a career where she earned her career. So she studied, and through her education she had her career. And she did say that she is a software engineer, so that sounds like something she would have had to study for. However, there's another fate line that starts from near the mountain moon and rises. So it is possible that she does also have another hobby or career in her mind, which could well be something creative based on the success line. So there are many travel lines here. These travel lines can show energy, decisions, changes, lots of changes, or it can just mean that she is later on doing lots of traveling. Lastly, about the lines, she appears to have almost complete, they don't wrap fully around by the look of it, 2 almost complete rings of Solomon. And the ring of Solomon is a sign of wisdom. Someone who naturally has an aptitude for analysis. It shows qualities of perseverance, someone who's selfless and caring, and they kind of pick up, they understand people. It's like they understand people's psychology. It's like naturally a natural psychologist. They don't probably have to be trained in it to understand it. So all these crazy spiderweb lines and lines everywhere, they are not to worry about them, because the more you worry about them, the more lines you're going to get. They do come and go, the very fine ones, or they can come and go. And my advice is to try to relax more. And if you find yourself overthinking due to this big long headline, try and keep yourself occupied and keep your mind off things that don't help you. So try to reduce the chaos in your life. Accept things as they are and express your feelings, especially. And get creative with a hobby. So the best things for you is a peaceful and harmonious environment. And I hope that has helped, and I hope that you all have learned something from that reading today, and I look forward to doing one again soon. Don't forget, go and check out my new book, because I'm so crazy, I'm already writing another one. I'm doing a book on the simian line, and I've already got 6,500 words into that 27 pages. And because I stopped to do this video today, I'm not writing today. But I look forward to getting another book out again very soon. I'll catch you next time. Bye.